Chloe, otherwise known as Princess Aspian, and welcome to my channel.
Just be me.
So a couple of years back, I did a video answering Google's most asked questions about autism, and I thought, it's been a bit. People are still silly, people are still asking silly questions. Let's see what Google has for us today. I did this video a couple of years back, and something that I learned from said video is that, you know, the whole like, there's no such thing as a silly question. There is such thing as silly questions, and it's all the stuff that people put into Google. It's a wild ride. It's a good time. If you haven't seen my videos before, hi, my name's Chloe. I'm autistic, have ADHD, and I make videos about autism, ADHD, and mental health. Also regularly cry about One Direction, but that is a separate topic. Before we get started, I have new merch, and it's out now, and I'm wearing it. It's on my body right this very second. Look how cute this is. This is easily my favorite thing that I have ever brought out. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I have been wearing this consistently for the past couple of months now, and I am so excited to share it with you guys finally. These shirts are 100% ring spun cotton with no tag. Design is printed into the shirt, very much mimicking the kind of like vintage faded vibes. It is the softest thing that I have ever put on my body. It is so comfortable, and it comes in a multiple range of sizes, so if you guys would like to buy it, you can get that from the link down in my bio. I'm very excited about it. It's so cool. Also, while I'm here, I have got my Teeny Matcha blend drink with me. I'm very excited about this. This is my favorite. Every single time I talk about matcha, I go into a hyperfixation discussion about it because I'm so obsessed with matcha, it's not even funny. It's probably, I should discuss this with someone. It's not mentally healthy. Matcha includes 137 times more antioxidants than green tea, 6 times more antioxidants than goji berries. It can help boost and sustain energy throughout the day and increase your focus levels, which, as a girl with ADHD, drink up. If you would like to try out Teamy's matcha powder or any of their other products, I've got a code linked below or shown here or something along those lines, which you can use for a discount off your order. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on to the video. Here is answering Google's most asked questions about autism. Now, I know the term Asperger's has been eradicated, and I do want to do an entire video about why the term Asperger's has been eradicated, but I know that people are going to be asking questions with the word in it, so let's start off with that. Let's type in, do Asperger's have feelings? No. We are robots. We don't feel, we don't think, we don't... Emotions? What's that? We have no feelings. Feelings are for the weak and for the neurotypical. Following up with that, do Asperger's have empathy? Also no, we feel nothing. Empathy? What's that? It's actually one that I do want to talk about, because while do Asperger's have feelings is a little bit... Empathy is actually one that I do want to talk about, because it is something that a lot of people have this stigma around, that autistic people don't feel empathy, which could not be further from the truth, and I've spoken about this in several videos before, but I will be speaking about it again because it is an important thing that we need to start drilling into our little noggins. Autistic people feel empathy, and I would say that autistic people actually feel empathy more so than what a neurotypical person would feel it. We feel emotions so intensely that often it's really hard for us to describe it or to show it in a way that a neurotypical person can also understand. We feel empathy. Oftentimes we just don't understand how to showcase it in a way that can make sense to you so that you can also see the empathy that we're feeling. But yes, autistic people feel empathy, and we feel it very intensely. Do Asperger's miss you? Tuesday nights, glazed over eyes, just one more pint or 5. Here's the thing, I could continue making jokes about singing Louis Tomlinson's hit song Miss You, but this is actually a good question, and one that actually isn't as silly as you may think. Although this is more in line with ADHD traits, it also is a symptom of Asperger's syndrome. Our object's permanence isn't great, and a lot of the time this object's permanence also goes back to relationships and our relationships with other people. Basically meaning out of sight, out of mind. We have a hard time missing people because we're not thinking about them if they're not directly there with us. This doesn't mean that we can't miss people, and it doesn't mean that we don't love people. It just means that our minds are focused on other things if that one thing isn't there with us. Yes, we can miss you, but also understand that a lot of the time it's out of sight, out of mind. We love you, and don't think that we don't love you or that we don't cherish you and care about our time together just because we can't miss you or don't necessarily miss you in the same way. Love ya. Let's go, is Asperger's. Is Asperger's autism? Yes, it is. The term Asperger's has been eradicated. The term Asperger's is not used anymore, and we now use something called the DSM-5. Basically, there is different levels of autism. Once again, I do not want to hear anyone in my comments talking about the fact that like one autism is worse than another autism, because that is not how it works. It's just a medical terminology. It's all a big, beautiful rainbow of color, and everyone is a different color in this rainbow, and that's wonderful. And everyone that's autistic is autistic, and no one is more or less autistic than someone else anyway. The term Asperger's Asperger's does not exist anymore. It is all autism. Is Asperger's hereditary? This is something which is still not completely understood by science. There is a strong genetic basis on autism, meaning that a lot of the time it does run in families, and if you're autistic, then you very likely do have an autistic mum or dad or family member. I'm autistic, my cousin is autistic, my brother is autistic, and I have high expectations that there are other members in my family that are undiagnosed autistic. But yes, it does run in families. However, the direct cause of it and like all the little bits and pieces isn't exactly known yet. But yes, it can be hereditary. This little bit of hair is just not vibing with me today. I tried to do space buns and be a little bit cute, but it's just not working. That's, you know what, it's fine. We're just gonna roll with it. Okay, let's change. Do autistic people get married? No, autistic people are completely incapable of getting married. There has never been a single known case of a person that is autistic that has been married, and if they have been married and they have said they're autistic, they are lying to you. Autistic people cannot get married because, as previously discussed, autistic people can't feel things. Do autistic people know they are autistic? Nah. Yes, autistic people know they're autistic. And here's the thing. I have so many parents that say to me, oh, I think my son's autistic, I think my daughter's autistic, but I don't want to get them diagnosed because then they're going to have a label to them. Here's the thing. Your kid already has a label stuck to them regardless of whether that label is autism or not. As an undiagnosed autistic, they know that they're different. They know that they don't fit in. They know that there's something else going on. They just haven't got a label for it. So how much better is it for them when they actually have a label and have an understanding and have an identity and have an entire group of people who also have that same label that they go to and relate to and know that they fit in and that they haven't just crash landed from this alien planet into this planet which doesn't make any sense to them. Autistic people, autistic children, autistic toddlers know that there's something else. Maybe they don't know what the word for it is, but they understand that they're different. Yes, undiagnosed autistic people know that they're autistic even if they don't necessarily know what the name for it is. They know that they don't fit in. They know that there's something else going on. Do autistic people cry? Have you seen my videos of me reacting to anything to do with One Direction? There's this whole stigma about autistic people not being able to show emotions, not being able to show empathy very well, not being able to cry. If you see me in any situation which isn't like mediocre levels of feelings, I'm crying. Gold buzzer moments in America's Got Talent. Crying my eyes out. Those orangutan ads on the television, crying my eyes out. Literally saw a photo of Harry Styles wearing a dress. Crying my eyes out. Watch people in the comments now use that as proof that I'm not autistic. Do it. I'll cry about it. Do it. Okay, this one makes me sad. Can autistic children become normal? I think this was a question that came up in my last video that I did about this, and I'm pretty sure I had the exact same response once again. What is normal? Normal doesn't exist. Normal is a setting on the washing machine. Normal is not a thing. We created the term normal. We as a society decided what normal was and what normal wasn't. So yes, autistic people can become normal once society starts to accept us as we are. We're not going to change, and we're not the ones that need to change. It's society, and it's society's expectations and understanding of what normal is. Also, normal is so boring. If everyone was normal, our world would be so boring and bland and colorless, and girl, no one wants to live in a world like that. People that are weirdos, the oddballs, the whack jobs of the world, they're the ones that are going to make the change. No one has ever done anything by being normal. So can autistic children become normal? I bloody well hope not. Can autistic people work? Yes, absolutely. The same way that you would for a neurotypical person, we just need to find a job that works within our mindset and the way that our brain works. I know that I personally could never work a 9-to-5 job. It's just not the way that my brain works. But just because I couldn't work in a job that was like that doesn't mean that I can't thrive in a job which works with my abilities. I work as a motivational speaker, actor, and autism advocate, and I love it, and I could never imagine having another job. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm good at what I do. With that being said, I also have autistic friends that do work 9-to-5 jobs and absolutely thrive in that. Autistic people, just like neurotypical people, can thrive in whatever workplace it is that works best for them. A lot of the time we may just need to have extra support, which is something that I feel like we should really start to focus on and work on regardless of if someone is autistic or not. Can autistic people drive? Let's just say, if I had $1 for every single time that I crashed my car, I'd have $7. That's not a lot of money. A lot of times to crash a car. It answers the question, yes, autistic people can drive, and autistic people can be very good drivers. In fact, I would say that most autistic people would be stellar drivers because of their ability to hyperfocus. I'm not one of them. As usual, I don't fit into expectation. Yeah. Anyway, most autistic people can drive just fine. I just can't. Okay, let's do why is autism. Oh, here's a good one. Let's talk about this. Why is autism increasing? Why is autism so common? Why is autism rising? Here's a fun fact. It's not. There is no rise in autism. There was no increase in autism. Is there an increase in autism diagnosis? Yes. Is there an increase in autism? No. Autism always has and always will be here. As long as there has been people, there has been autistic people. Autism is something which has always been here and will always be here, and nothing has changed that and nothing will change that. The difference now is that back in the past, autistic people had to suffer in silence. They didn't have an understanding or a word for why they were the way that they are. Now we have a word for it. We have an understanding for it. We understand why our minds work this way and how to cope with our minds working this way in a society which isn't expecting us to. We understand why our minds work this way and how to cope with our minds working this way in a society which doesn't often accept us for the way that we are. But autism is not rising, autism is not increasing, it's not something in the waters, it's not something in the vaccines, it's always been here, it always will be here. I use this analogy a lot, but Mount Everest wasn't discovered until 1852, and I can guarantee you it still existed beforehand. Autism is the exact same. Let's do, can autism be cured? No. It can't be cured. Should it be cured? No. Why would you want to cure autism? No. Can autism be prevented? Yes, by not having children. Let's do, why do autistic people like trains? Should have seen that one coming. That, you can't make an autism video without someone asking you about trains. It's part of it. You gotta expect it. And I didn't. And I've been bamboozled. Why do autistic people rock? Why do autistic people stim? Why do autistic people make noises? Why do autistic flap their hands? Why do autistic people repeat words? All of these are questions related to stimming. I've done a couple of videos about stimming before, but basically the reason that we do all of this is to self-regulate our bodies. Everyone in the world stims. It's just more common and more stereotyped in autistic people. If you play with your hair, you're stimming. If you're playing with your fingers, you're stimming. If you jig your leg, you're stimming. If you're clicking your pen, you're stimming. Every single person stims, but when it comes to autistic people, our stims are just more necessary for us to be able to cope in a world that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us. Stimming is different for every single person. Some people have verbal stims, some people have physical stims, some people have audible stims. I know for me specifically, flapping my hands is one of my biggest stims, but as I said, every single person in the world stims. It is not something to be ashamed of. The only time that stimming can be negative is if it is self-harmful to you or to someone else, but you cannot take away stims altogether. The only thing that you can do if a stim is negative is to replace it with something else. So for example, if you have a stim which is biting yourself or scratching yourself, which I know that some autistic people do, then you can replace it instead with chew jewelry. But stimming is very, very normal and something that we need to become more accepting of in society. Speaking of stimming, I have stim stickers out. Man, this whole video is just me promoting my merch, but it's fine. I recently came out with a collection of 3 different vinyl stickers that are all part of my Stimmy sticker collection pack, and I'm very, very excited about them. If you would like to buy these stickers, you can buy them on my website, princessafghan.com/shop. Okay, I think that's it. I think that we've answered the majority of Google's most asked questions about autism. Let me know if you guys like this video, and if you guys would like to see any more of Google's most asked questions about blank videos, because I would love to do more of them. They're very fun. I hope you guys are looking after yourself. I hope you guys are staying kind to yourself and to other people. I hope you guys are staying hydrated and wearing your face mask when you leave the house, guys. We are so close to beating this pandemic. That's probably a lie. We're probably not, but silver linings, positivity. I want to see Harry Styles soon. If you guys are interested, make sure to check out my new stickers and my new t-shirts, which are for sale on my website, which I'm so excited about, guys. I am so excited about this merch that I'm releasing. It makes me so happy, and I'm so thankful that I'm in a position where I'm able to release this sort of stuff and that you guys want it. If you guys would like to, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I don't mind. Do whatever makes you feel happy. Do whatever makes you feel good. And I will be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.